industry wise, like, all right, I'm gonna say rappers for sure. You got they're like really taking their time out to sit down and write, like good men, like Lil Baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Dirk, this overstood. This like, bruh, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He ain't missing a beat outside. Yeah, y'all familiar with Don Tripp?
Yeah, I know Don Tripp is.
Don Tripp, Starlito. Don Tripp just wrote me a letter the other day.
Man, T.I. stepped out of that federal prison in October 2025 after 3 long years locked away for shooting 2 men during a Miami deal that went sideways, but the outside world might feel even colder than that concrete cell ever did. The block never forgets, and payback don't text you first. It just pops up when you least expect it.
I talked to your father, my boss, one day. He called me. He was like, because I check on you all the time. I was like, what's up with Pooh? He was like, man, Pooh locked down a couple cats that got killed in the joint. Got killed in Victorville.
The streets keep a scoreboard, and the real question ain't if, but when trouble decides to pull up, especially after that last clip of him dropping to one knee like the whole city was holding its breath. That Memphis most wanted energy followed him straight through those gates on October 7th, 2025, after serving roughly 3 of his 63-month federal gun bid from that 2020 hotel situation. Straight facts, no gossip. The Memphis rapper, born Trell Donald Williams Jr., landed an early release thanks to good behavior credits and First Step Act reductions, shaving close to 2 years off his projected July 2027 release date, which is a massive shift in time served. And instead of turning up with a wild welcome home party that could attract the wrong eyes or the wrong ops, he linked up with Memphis partners K Carbon and Big 30 within hours, sliding into a studio session like he never missed a beat. Smart play for real. But the buzz got heavy quick.
We got elected dust on again. What we doing? What's up, my little twin, man? We got elected dust. My little brother sitting in this shit, playing in this shit, man. My little brother done been driving it, man. I don't do this.
Because the same 2019 to 2021 run that lifted his name also stacked him up with enemies. From sharp bar lyrics to real-life tension that spilled outside the booth. Coming home means stepping out of a controlled space into a city where things flip in seconds, where rap disputes can turn into actual danger, and headlines can switch to memorials if you look the wrong direction at the wrong moment. Nobody wants that tag, especially when so many artists in recent years have been lost to setups, robberies, and sudden ambushes. Sad reality.
I was on everything, every drug, everything in pill form, all the drink, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's completely over me. It's like I'm trying to, my vision ain't clouded no more. Like I'm going forward, going towards my full potential.
His legal spiral kicked off October 20th, 2020, outside the Landon Hotel in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, when what should have been a simple transaction exploded into an armed robbery and gunfire. No glamour, just pure chaos. At 21, alongside associate Bobby Brown, he allegedly arranged a buy via Instagram for high-end sneakers and marijuana from 2 sellers, street marketplace turning into a crime scene in minutes. Williams pulled up in that rented white McLaren 720 looking like trouble on wheels, reportedly holding a Draco-style AK pistol while Brown carried a handgun.
My little brother sitting in this shit, playing in this shit, man. My little brother done been driving it, man. I don't do this, man. Come on, man. I don't want to drive this.
Then when one seller supposedly tried to play them short, both men drew quick, and a single shot from Williams hit one dude in the buttocks and another in the hip. Painful, but not deadly. They grabbed the goods and the cash, tore off north on the Palmetto, and during the escape, a Louis Vuitton bag with $40,684 flew out the McLaren. Police recovered it with shells that matched the Draco rounds, which is wild evidence to leave behind. Surveillance tracked the whole timeline, and just hours later, Williams hopped on Instagram in the same McLaren flashing money. Prosecutors called that consciousness of guilt, stacking it with fingerprints, traffic cameras, witness statements, and socials until the case looked airtight.
I was on everything, every drug, everything in pill form, all the drink, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's completely over me. It's like I'm trying to, my vision ain't clouded no more. Like I'm going forward, going towards my full potential.
Federal heat came down heavy, pushing T.I. straight into plea negotiations instead of risking it all at trial. Prosecutors lined up charges on June 29, 2021. Conspiracy to commit Hobbs Act robbery, possession of a firearm during a violent act, and firing a weapon while committing a violent crime. Just one of those charges carried a mandatory 10-year stretch and the max penalty, life behind bars. Judge Edwin G. Torres didn't hesitate. He denied bond on July 7, 2021, calling T.I. both a flight risk because of his money and lifestyle and a danger to the community. The judge said Williams' past actions showed he wasn't scared to let shots off in public. That ruling pulled him off the field during the peak of his rising career, canceling shows and cutting the momentum his debut mixtape was building across the charts. Then came the King of Diamonds chaos, May 30th, 2021. Memorial Day weekend madness at its peak. After a performance at the legendary club, things flipped fast. A random guy bumped into T.I., and witnesses say between $3,000 and $40,000 in cash spilled from his pocket. In seconds, the crowd lunged for the money. Pure mayhem. Security tried to break it up, but it went left. Door guard Dora held on to T.I. to stop him, and that's when things allegedly turned violent. T.I. reportedly pulled a concealed piece and fired one shot that hit Dora in the ankle. He later said he dodged a body shot by inches. Club surveillance captured everything. T.I. waving the weapon, cash raining everywhere, people diving, and his crew sprinting out the back in a black Cadillac Escalade. Hours later, T.I. posted on Instagram claiming the $40,000 spill was exaggerated rumors. But prosecutors didn't find it funny. They charged him with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, a count carrying 5 to 30 years. He surrendered on June 8, 2021, standing before Judge Ellen Suzur, who first set bond at $10,000, then snatched it away 2 days later once prosecutors highlighted his fresh federal case and the danger labels already strapped to his name. By June 15th, Dora flipped the whole situation, signing a sworn affidavit saying pain meds had him confused and that he wasn't shot at all, just trampled when the crowd went wild. Prosecutors suspected someone had gotten in his ear, but they couldn't prove witness tampering. That twist shook the case, but it didn't kill it, because the footage and statements still laid out the night in full detail. Eventually, everything got pulled into one deal: his federal plea agreement. On January 4th, 2022, T.I. pled guilty to a reduced charge: conspiring to possess firearms in furtherance of violent crimes and drug trafficking under Title 18 U.S.C. Section 924 EO. That move was massive. It wiped out the 10-year mandatory sentence, erased the robbery charges, and folded the strip club situation into the agreement without adding more time. If he went to trial, he could have been staring at an easy 20-plus years, but the plea capped it at 8 max and gave him credit for stepping up. On April 20th, 2022, Judge K. Michael Moore locked in the sentence: 63 months with credit for the 10 months he'd already sat, plus 3 years of supervised release. T.I. might have lost a chunk of freedom, but he played the legal chessboard sharp and walked out with a real second chance. Williams walked out that courtroom under tight restrictions, standard probation rules plus heavy extras. He's required to check in with officers, take drug tests, hold a legit job, and get travel approved before he moves anywhere. Judge Moore also blocked him from touching firearms, from contacting victims, and from stepping into certain Miami spots tied to his old cases. And the court hit him with $156,507 in restitution to cover medical bills, lost wages, pain claims, and property damage, every dollar tracked and listed. His time locked up sent him through multiple federal facilities: USP Pollock in Louisiana, FCI Talladega in Alabama, and USP Coleman II in Florida. While doing those years, T.I. stayed focused on programs that sliced real time off his sentence, about 15% through good behavior and educational credits. He took the ASVAB, completed First Step Act programs aimed at changing negative thinking, and even worked recreation yard supervision gigs, turning dead time into progress. That 2018 First Step Act turned into a blessing. It rewarded inmates putting in the work to rebuild themselves. T.I. used it to the fullest, earning recidivism reduction credits and chopping his release date from July 2027 down to October 2025, almost 2 full years shaved off. That's real strategy. He kept steady contact with his family and a few industry allies through approved calls and visits, using those convos to show how much his mindset had shifted. The reckless energy faded. He talked about responsibility, clarity, and staying sober after years of heavy use. He told people straight up that being forced to dry out inside gave him a new level of focus. "You can't fake clear thinking when you've been locked down this long," he said once. Still, prison wasn't calm. It was unpredictable and violent at times. T.I. saw stabbings, fights, and even deaths across different yards, moments that stuck with him and pushed him to stay out of trouble for real. Even when tension got dangerous, he managed to avoid serious write-ups that could have destroyed his early release chances. Support from the rap world never fell off. Big names like Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Don Tripp, Alito, and Gucci Mane kept reaching out, sending letters, making calls, and showing public love like his name still hit heavy even while he was locked in. His catalog kept moving numbers too, over 2 billion Spotify streams during his bid. The streets didn't forget his story, his struggle, or that Memphis sound that cut straight through headphones like a warning siren. T.I.'s style was Memphis to the bone, raw, bold, and too real to fake. His sharp storytelling, heavy street details, and melodic bounce pulled in fans who wanted that genuine heat. His breakout hit Back in Blood with Lil Durk dropped November 5, 2020, and blew the culture wide open. 8 times platinum, 1.2 billion streams, and a number 13 Billboard peak. And when Durk led with the iconic line, "Pooh Shiesty, that's my dog. But Pooh, you know I'm really Shiesty." It stamped T.I.'s whole identity across the game: smart, tactical, and unapologetically street. On its 5-year anniversary, November 5, 2025, social media went wild celebrating a track that still shakes any block it touches. His follow-up tracks kept the wave rising. Shiesty Summer with Chief Keef and Lil Durk dropped June 23, 2020, 3 times platinum, 450 million streams, peaking at number 37. Backdoor with Durk went 2 times platinum with 300 million streams, while the self-titled Pooh Shiesty with Big 30 hit platinum at 200 million streams and peaked at number 59. Then Guard Up with 21 Savage and Durk stacked another platinum plaque with 150 million streams. T.I. laying out the cold reality of living under constant pressure, from robberies to setups to eyes watching every step he made. And when he dropped the 2021 mixtape Shiesty Season, the game shifted again. 18 tracks, half hits and half new flames, over 500 million streams, number 3 on Billboard 200, and certified gold. That solidified him as more than a singles artist. He was album material, a full-package heavyweight with fans who replayed every bar. He didn't stop there. T.I. linked with some of the biggest names moving. His verse on Drake's Wants and Needs peaked at number 2, 800 million streams, proved he belonged among the elite. Critics even said he outshined Drake on his own track. Then came Lifestyle with Lil Baby and 21 Savage, a 5x platinum monster with 600 million streams, plus hit Bout It, with Lil Baby stacking another 200 million. Even locked up, his catalog stayed alive and breathing. Clear proof his fan base never dipped. By the numbers, Williams' run was wild. About 30 singles and 1 mixtape between 2020 and 2021, adding up to over 2 billion streams and more than 20 RIAA certifications. That puts him among the most successful breakout artists during one of the roughest years in music, when the industry froze under COVID and he still broke through. After he came home in October 2025, streaming reports showed a 30% spike across his whole catalog. Proof fans were hungry to hear what prison did to his pen. They wanted to know if he'd double down on that street grit or evolve into something sharper and wiser. But when the hype rises, so does the heat. Because in hip-hop, fame and danger sit at the same table. The culture had already taken heartbreaking losses. King Von, Pop Smoke, Young Dolph, Takeoff, PNB Rock, artists gone to senseless attacks rooted in internet beefs, jealousy, and street tension that turned deadly fast. T.I.'s own situation stayed quiet publicly, with no verified beefs during his sentence, but the warning signs hovered. Old lyrics, old posts, and Memphis street history still circling like predators. And in Memphis, problems don't evaporate. They reload. Rival crews hold grudges for years, and when shots echo, the silence afterward speaks louder than police sirens. Witnesses stay mute, cops hit dead ends, and the body count keeps rising. The FBI still lists Memphis as one of America's most dangerous cities, with violent crime and homicide rates sitting sky high. For T.I., stepping back into that world isn't just a comeback. It's a high-stakes gamble, with his life on the line every time he leaves the studio. Street culture moves on its own set of codes: respect, pride, and fast retaliation when someone feels disrespected. In these environments, reputation ain't just bragging rights, it's survival. Williams rose fast in the middle of that chaos, and the mix of new money, media eyes, and street credibility turned him into both a target for robberies and a threat to rivals who saw his success as shaking up the whole power ladder that decides who gets respect and who gets ignored. The violence tied to Williams' legal history, shooting 2 men during the hotel situation and allegedly firing on a security guard at King of Diamonds, showed he wasn't scared to use serious force if he felt challenged or disrespected. That kind of rep cuts both ways. Some people back off because they know he might respond hard, but others see it as a reason to strike first, thinking taking him out removes someone dangerous before things escalate. It turns personal beef into something way bigger, where people start planning moves out of fear instead of anger. On top of that, Williams deals with the structural dangers that follow many young, successful black men who come out of tough Memphis neighborhoods and keep ties to the streets while blowing up in rap. Robbery stays a constant threat. Artists get targeted the moment they step out of studios, clubs, hotels, or even their cars, especially when they're rocking expensive jewelry, carrying cash, or driving high-end whips. In that world, being famous doesn't just bring fans, it brings predators watching every step. Whether Williams has literally begged for protection remains unclear, but dangers facing him are undeniably real and could materialize at any moment through robbery, assassination, or law enforcement action, ending his freedom or life despite apparent intentions focusing on music. Rather than street activities, his 5-year Back in Blood anniversary occurring precisely on this script's composition date creates poignant symbolism, celebrating past success while contemplating uncertain future where Williams must prove whether his expressed transformation represents genuine evolution or merely strategic prison rhetoric. Evaporating under freedom's pressures and temptations, Shiesty stands at the most precarious crossroads of his 24-year existence. Balancing on razor's edge between redemption through sustained music, career success, and destruction through violence, incarceration, or death that has consumed countless artists from similar circumstances. His October 7, 2025, released from federal custody, activated countdown clock measuring whether 3 years of forced reflection, sobriety, and transformation rhetoric translates into behavioral changes, sustaining his freedom through the supervised release period, extending to April 2028, or whether street pressures, financial obligations, or mercy lacks verification through public evidence, yet captures legitimate uncertainty about whether his proven violence, willingness deters attacks, or encourages preemptive strikes by rivals viewing him as dangerous enemy requiring elimination. His fate ultimately depends on choices made in coming months and years as he navigates impossible balancing act between music, career obligations, supervision, compliance, personal safety, and street code expectations that have destroyed numerous others attempting similar transitions. Whether Pooh Shiesty's story concludes with sustained success, demonstrating redemption's possibility, or tragic ending reinforcing street life's inescapably remains unwritten contingent on daily decisions.